doing him. He always
all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
So I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bruh. If you know about boxing, come on, it is Gervonta Davis.
Gervonta Davis recently lashed out at Floyd Mayweather after discovering that Floyd had been training Lamont Roach. Davis didn't hold back, claiming that Floyd constantly puts him in lose-lose situations. The
Yo, hit you. Pass me that. Hold on. I know what y'all gonna do. I go that way for a reason. How is she gonna record? How is she record?
effects of Floyd's training are already showing. Roach is now moving with sharper footwork, throwing crisp combinations, and defending with laser focus, clearly preparing himself for war in the ring. From the very beginning of his career, Davis has dealt with what he now sees as manipulation and favoritism from Mayweather. What initially looked like genuine mentorship gradually turned into
Adrian had the weigh-in. So from the weigh-in, from his weigh-in, they meet us at the food spot. So from there, we go to the gym. So remind you, they already got this set up. Floyd already got it set up. He already posted on Instagram. It probably was like 100 people in there, and he turned the heat up. That's what Floyd do. He turned the heat up in the gym while you in there. So he turned the heat up. Boom. We spar, but while we sparring, Floyd is in the ring. Like every time I'm punching, Floyd like grab my hand, like yank it back. Whereas though I can't even punch Devin. So it was times that like I catch Devin, boom, or I'm about to swing and Floyd like yank my hand back, or he'll push me to the ropes. Like he was actually like touching me while we was sparring. Like
why?
Like, he was, cause it was like Devin was his guy, cause Devin was training at his gym at the time. So, and he was training with his father. So, Devin was on. I mean, Floyd was on Devin's side.
Sounds
so
like
that's
a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, but later down the line, probably about like a couple months. No, this was recently, not recently, but probably like 2 years ago. I asked Devin to like come to like spar me. He was like, "No, I ain't no sparring partner." I had somebody hit him up.
Controlling relationship. Those close to the situation have often noted how Floyd's influence seemed to limit Davis's ability to carve out his own identity. Instead of helping Davis establish his own legacy, Floyd's actions implied that he wanted to shape him into a version of himself, while still keeping him in the shadows. Davis...
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Opened up about a sparring session with Devin Haney, revealing how Mayweather would frequently intervene just as Davis started gaining momentum. Every time Davis began landing clean shots or taking control, Floyd would pause the session or step in, which gave the impression that Haney was being favored. According to Davis, these constant interruptions prevented him from shining. Even in...
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. Just so you next in line.
Is there like
the last question, guys?
Is there like a love-hate or like fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And Because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Private sessions that were supposed to foster growth and development. This kind of interference has left Davis feeling betrayed, undermined by the very person who was supposed to guide and support him. What was once seen as mentorship now feels like a deliberate effort to hold him back. And with Floyd's attention shifting toward other fighters like Roach,
you know, so I don't want Tank to necessarily leave Mayweather. I think he's in this position because of everything that Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe have done for him. So I do want him to do what he is saying. Take control of your career. Say that you want Shakur and actually fight Shakur. Say that you want Devin and actually fight Devin. You know, fight these guys. Don't keep making new names. Like, you gave Barrios a chance. You gave Isaac a chance. Like, you know, Gamboa. Like, those aren't the fights that we...
Davis believes a pattern of favoritism continues, further damaging their already strained relationship. Over time, Gervonta Davis began to see his relationship with Floyd Mayweather not as a genuine partnership, but as a carefully controlled setup. He came to realize that Mayweather consistently positioned himself at the center of every major decision, whether it was fight matchmaking, media strategy.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own.
Or career moves, ensuring he always maintained the upper hand, rather than empowering Davis to grow into his own legacy. Floyd's approach appeared more focused on keeping control. This realization fueled growing mistrust and emotional distance between the two. Davis hasn't held back in calling out Mayweather's inability to celebrate others. In Davis's view, Floyd's ego...
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, you know, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. You know, I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round, but as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. You know, so Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, you know, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think...
It makes it nearly impossible for him to genuinely support someone else's success. According to Davis, that same mindset played a significant role in Floyd's reluctance to support a rematch with Lamont Roach. Instead of prioritizing Davis's career, Mayweather seemed more concerned about being eclipsed by one of his own proteges. The eventual breakup...
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like... I'm like, oh my, and then he just sitting there like, you can't, I know what you're gonna do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to...
Between Davis and Mayweather Promotions wasn't quiet. It was messy and very public. Headlines were filled with arguments, passive-aggressive statements, and ongoing disputes over control. Davis demanded more freedom and clarity, while Mayweather appeared unwilling to loosen his grip. The split only confirmed for fans what many had suspected. The relation...
My man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him might have similar personalities, you know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying, me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean, you can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision?
Especially with all the other controversy too, it should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
The relationship had turned toxic long before it officially ended. Behind the scenes, there had been constant tension for years. They disagreed on opponents, training methods, and promotional strategies. Mayweather frequently second-guessed Davis's decisions, especially when it came to the rematch with Roach. But Davis held firm. His disciplined and focused...
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Mm-hmm. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, you know, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, you know, hit the gears a little harder. You know, we ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, you know? Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory, you know?
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got
training camp for this bout has caught even his harshest critics, including Floyd, by surprise. Davis knows exactly what's at stake. This upcoming fight is more than just another bout. It's a statement. A second loss could seriously tarnish his image, far more than a first. But with everything he's learned...
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know?
The buzz surrounding the upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has reached a boiling point. Fans, analysts, and insiders are all watching closely, eager to see how both fighters approach this crucial second encounter. Their first clash left too many questions unanswered. Now, with Las Vegas expected to host the event, There's a growing...
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamar Roach posted a video recently on
belief that this fight will finally bring closure to their rivalry and define each fighter's standing in the sport. In their initial meeting, Roach stunned the boxing world by pushing Davis to his limits. It wasn't just a competitive bout, it was a revealing one. Roach exposed weaknesses in Davis's defense and raised serious doubts about whether Davis was still improving or showing signs of decline.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused. And he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch. And when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that.
That's why the rematch isn't just about redemption. It's about legacy. For Davis, it's a chance to reassert his dominance and silence his critics. For Roach, it's an opportunity to prove he belongs at the elite level. Davis's camp is not taking Roach lightly. His trainer has acknowledged Roach's high ring IQ, endurance, and ability to adapt during fights. Still, Team Davis remains confident.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean, like basically like we seen it, like yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him to get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But bro, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bro, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night.
As this high-stakes rematch draws closer,